Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, thanks for checking me out. So today we have what fancy people like to call salmon croquettes, but up until recently, we always call them salmon patties. Yes, salmon with an L. We'll get into that later, but this is a delicious meal. It's one of those feel-good meals. That kind of reminds you of like back in the day, something your mom or your grandma used to cook. So if you would like to see how to get perfectly golden, delicious salmon patties like these, stay tuned for the video. All right, guys, so let's get started. So I am going to start by peeling a potato. So just like with any other recipe, there's a million ways to do it. There's a million ways to fry chicken. There's a million ways to make a salad. So I am just showing you how my family does it. So we use a potato in ours. It acts as like a binder and also like a filler. So what we're going to do is get the potato peeled. I'm going to give it a quick rinse. And then we are going to cut it up into like bite-sized pieces, like kind of like you would for like potato salad. And then we are going to boil the potatoes until they are fork tender. So as I was saying before, this is kind of one of those feel-good meals, like I said, like something, your mom used to make for you. It's just very like comforting and just makes you feel like all warm and fuzzy inside. So I like to think that my cooking style is very diverse. So if you like to see a little bit of this and a little bit of that, then consider subscribing to my channel because I have plenty of those recipes. So now that the potatoes are done, we just will drain them and we will set them aside and let them cool. So now I have some pouches of salmon that have already been cleaned. And I have this bowl here because usually there was like a lot of juice in these pouches, but apparently it's not as much juice as it used to be anymore. So I didn't even have to really do that, for that little bit of juice. But, if you want to get rid of that, you can, but it really is not going to make that big of a difference. So you want to put the salmon in a bowl. Once you have all your salmon in a bowl, you're going to go ahead and start just breaking it up like you would tuna. And I find that with these pouches, you can get about 2 to 3 salmon patties out of each one. So you can, decide how many you need for your family or just yourself. So normally I do not pronounce the L in salmon. I kind of use that to differentiate like what we're having. Like when we're having like salmon fillets, I say salmon. And when we're having it like this in the patty form, the old school way, I say salmon. So I don't know why I do, but that's just how I differentiate to tell my family what we're having. So when I say salmon, it's fillets. When I say salmon, it's salmon patties. So now what we're gonna do is add our potatoes into the salmon, and we're just gonna get the potatoes kind of mushed up a little bit so it kind of blends in more with the salmon. And like I said, it's used kind of like as a binder and a filler. So we're just gonna get those mixed in well, and then we will start to season it. Now that we've combined the salmon with the potatoes, we are going to season it. I'm using the usual suspects, my Slap Your Mama. I'm going to use some onion powder, garlic powder, maybe a little MSG, and I think that's about it. You can add whatever you like. You can add some lemon juice for like a burst of flavor. You can add parsley. You can add green onions. You can add yellow onions. Whatever you want to add into it, you can. And then we're going to, of course, add an egg in there to kind of bind it all together. One thing I also like about this dish is that it's quick and easy enough for you to make on a weeknight. You know, you can come home and whip this up after work, you know, in 30 minutes. Or, I mean, if you like food prep or anything like that, you can make it like on the weekend and make the patties and store it like in a container or a Ziploc bag or something like that, and just, you know, cook it up the next day. So it is also a make ahead meal. So now let's go ahead and form our patties. We're going to do it the same way that you would if you were making like hamburgers. So you just want to take some, put it in your hand, as much or as little as you like. You know how big you want them or how small you want them. So we've always ate ours standalone, but speaking of burgers, you could make these into burgers. I mean, you would do the same cooking process, but you can put them on a, you know, a nice brioche bun, maybe put some mayo down, pickle. I don't know. I'm not really a big pickle fan, but you know, however you want to make your burger, you can make them into burgers. So now we're just going to get ready to fry them up. So I have a few tablespoons of canola oil, and I am adding about a tablespoon of butter to that. I like to add butter to my oil. It gives it a little bit of flavor and, you know, just something different. So once your oil is hot, you want to cook this on like a medium high heat, because it's like tuna where it's like pretty much done. So you're just basically like heating it through, frying it, cooking, you know, making sure the egg is, you know, not raw. So it doesn't really take much time at all. You just want to fry them until they're golden brown. Quick funny sidebar. I know somebody gonna say something in the comments once this video blows up and I start getting like a ton of comments. Somebody gonna say something about me touching the food too much, because I guess that's a thing. Like, people don't like their food being touched a lot, but this is for me and my family, so yeah. So as these are frying up, I like to rotate mine because the outside perimeter like of the skillet is hotter than like the middle. So the crust or the browning will form more so around the edges of the skillet rather than like in the middle, as hopefully you can see. So I like to turn them around so that when I flip them over, it's not like half like sloppy on one side and like crispy on the other side. So I like to rotate them once I see that edge getting brown on the one side. Also, you don't want to disturb them too much because they are fragile. Like, if you like do too much with it, like messing with it and trying to do too much, like they will like fall apart. So you want to let like the crust set on them before you flip them. And when you flip them, you will probably want to use 2 spatulas or a spatula and a fork or something so that it can catch it, because you can't just like flip it all the way over like a burger or something, because it's a little more like fragile. So you want to use like 2 utensils to flip them over, and look how nice and golden brown they are. So we're just gonna let these fry up on the other side and get golden brown, and then we will be ready to serve them. So you can take a peek underneath and make sure they are the color that you would like on the bottom side, and then you just want to lay them on a paper towel to drain the grease. Alright guys, our meal is complete now. Look at how nice and golden brown they are. They're super crispy and seasoned and delicious, and it's just everything. This is some good eating, y'all. It's some good eating. So I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Don't forget to check out my other videos and subscribe to the channel if you so desire. I hope that you do. But thanks for watching this one. I'll see you guys in the next video.